Hey guys, today I come barefaced because I am talking about a new product that Senegence launched. It actually came out during the new seminar that a lot of us had to do virtually because of COVID, but I am super excited about this product because I've been reading a lot about retinol lately. Retinol is not something that I've ever had in my skincare regimen before, and the more that I've been reading about it, the more that I've been like, maybe I should. So this is the product right here. And the product is called Advanced SenePlex Plus Renewal Serum with Retinol. Kind of a mouthful, but the important part is the retinol. So let me tell you a little bit about retinol. Now, I want to preface this by saying that I am not a dermatologist. I am a veterinarian, and our dermatology is like limited to allergies. But I did find some really good articles from different dermatologists that talk about retinol and why it's important to use. So the first thing is kind of what is retinol, because retinol is the active ingredient in this, so I want to talk about that before talking about what is in this particular product. Retinol is a form of vitamin A. Vitamin A is found in things like veggies, and it helps to repair skin by repairing and preventing damage. And the way that it does that is it kind of helps with cellular renewal. It's a communicator. And I'm looking at my notes right now because I don't know this shit off the top of my head. But it communicates with cells to help them repair and restore over time. It also helps with wrinkles because it stimulates collagen to fight formation of new wrinkles and soften existing lines. Now, there's a lot of caveats that retinol is not nearly as intense as things like surgery or some of the laser therapy and everything that's going on right now, but honestly, it's kind of expensive, so if you can have a product that gets you a little bit more than the average product, then I think that's super helpful. The other thing is it can help with pore size and fighting acne because it helps with that cellular turnover. It kind of knocks out some of that gunk that accumulates in your pores, which can help decrease the appearance of pores. Now, genetically, if you have big pores, there's not a whole lot it's going to do for you, but it does help because if it's kicking some of that gunk out, kind of like exfoliating, then it can help decrease those pores over time. So what is in this particular product, right? Because it's like, okay, cool, that's great that retinol does that, but how much retinol is in this, and exactly what are we dealing with here? So there's a few things that are in this. The name even says SenePlex Plus, and that's because it does have SenePlex Plus in it. I know I've talked about it before in other videos. It's a proprietary mix that helps to decrease the sign of aging. Because it's proprietary, we don't know all of the ingredients, but it's a mix that they've used, that they've studied, that shows helps to help with signs of aging. The other thing is that this has micro retinol in it. And a lot of times when I was reading about retinol, some of the things that people were warning about is that air and light can sometimes deactivate it. So I don't know if you noticed, but you cannot see into this at all, and that's because it's got this opaque bottle so that it's not deactivated by the light. The other thing is it has an airless pump like most of our products do, and that means that there's not going to be any sort of air in there to help deactivate it. It's highly reactive. So the nano retinol is microencapsulated delivery system that has a sustained release during the cell renewal cycle. So your skin goes through this cycle. It's not always in the same phase. And so that's what's really helpful about that nano delivery system. There's also Nephora, which I think is also a patented product that they've come up with. It's a retinatural active form of rambutan superfruit leaves that will complement retinol's activity. So a lot of things that I read about retinol is that it can be really drying, and you have to be really careful about starting it. Things like wear hella sunscreen or SPF in order to kind of help, because you can burn more easily. So that plus the meadowform seed oil, aloe vera, and HAC helps to hydrate, because it's going to kind of counteract some of those effects in terms of the drying that you can see. The other thing is that it's 0.5% retinol, which is the optimum level to perform well, but minimize the effects of the higher percentages. So I don't know if you've seen people who put retinol on and then their skin turns white and peels off. Those are those higher percentages. So this is a lower percentage. The benefits, I know I've kind of chatted about it, but it improves the appearance of uneven skin tone, texture, and radiance. It supports a more youthful looking, firmer skin. And like all of our other products, it's gluten-free, vegan, paraben-free, etc. So I was kind of curious because we do have another product that's a brightening serum that I've used before. I don't know if you can tell. This is why I did this makeup list, because I wanted to show what my natural skin looks like so that I can do some before and afters. But I've got dark spots and everything, so I use the brightening serum. The brightening serum is vitamin C, and retinol is vitamin A, or a derivative of vitamin A. The vitamin C targets skin damage and dark spots specifically, kind of. It's like part of its gamut. It has retinol and like ingredients, but it's less concentrated. And it's mostly, to decrease like pigment, whereas this is more of like cellular renewal and turnover to help with like that youthful, it's like more for like lines and pores and everything. And that's why it has that brightening effect to it, is because it's brightening it because like your baby skin is coming to the surface, I guess, versus like the vitamin C helping with those dark spots. And like I said, retinol is vitamin A, it's sustained release. It's less harsh, works through the night, and is more for like firmness and elasticity, and that's why it helps with youthfulness. So this particular product was studied within 6-week independent consumer study. So most all of the products that Senegence has, they're really good about doing like consumer peer-reviewed like independent studies, because it's science and nature, but a lot of science. So this particular study, I'm going to throw some numbers at you. 82% said it improved skin clarity, and this was over 6 weeks. So 76% said that it reduced the appearance of crow's feet around the eyes. I'm really curious about that because on my right side, where the sun hits me when I drive, I have a little bit more crow's feet. And I started wearing sunglasses really, really early in life because in Arizona, it's always sunny, and I was really worried about crow's feet. 85% said that it improved skin's overall appearance. 73% said it minimized the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. 88% said the face appeared more youthful, and 85% said the skin feels more firmer. So basically what they did is they sent a survey out. They gave them this product, told them to use it for like 6 weeks, and then gave them a survey at the end. And that was the percentage of people who said they felt that particular statement was true. That's how they collected that data. So what about use? When you use it, you do 1 to 2 pumps at night before your moisturizer. With Senegence, their skincare is all synergistic, so you have like a specific order that you put it in because the size of the molecules, they basically put it in a certain order so that it penetrates the layers of the skin in a specific order. I have read that you shouldn't really mix retinols with like benzoids and alpha hydroxy acids and other sort of acne medications. I use the acne or the oily to acne line. So I think the days that I use this at night, I'm going to switch to a different nighttime moisturizer, probably the oily, like the normal to oily moisturizer, just so that I'm not having such drying stuff on my skin. The reason for this is that they do not recommend doing this every day, especially when you're starting out. So if you have sensitive skin, sometimes you only need to apply this once a week. Non-sensitive skin, they said 1 to 2 times a week and kind of build up. And you want to make sure they're not necessarily consecutive days when you start out, because what will happen is you'll put it on day 1 and the next day you'll be like, it's not that bad. So you'll put it on again the next night and you're like, nah, it's not that bad. And then by day 3, you're like, oh no, what have I done? So I'm going to start with every 3 days and see from there. I don't think I necessarily have sensitive skin. However, because I've used the acne products with benzoyl and everything in it for so long, that I want to make sure that, I'm using it appropriately. The other thing is you always, and I already said this, but pair it with SPF. If you use color corrected tinted moisturizer and a daytime moisturizer, that equates to about 30 SPF, because those products don't technically have SPF in it, but they have a mechanical shield, which is similar. So this will last 2 months if you use it every other day and you do 2 pumps per application. The shelf life is 3 to 5 years, so it's going to last you a bit. before you need to replace it, which is good because the price point is a little bit high at $75 American. If you're in other countries, I don't know off the top of my head. But it's really not that bad price point because I was looking at some of the other ones like before I decided to use, before they came out with this and I decided to give it a shot. I was looking at like the 150 to 190 price point and I was just like, I think that's why I didn't really pull the trigger. So it's a pea-sized amount divided between the 4 quarters of the face at night before moisturizer. So I've taken the covering off of it, but I have not used it yet. So let's protect our hairline. I've already washed my face. I have like the under eye cream on, but otherwise I don't really do a whole lot for my nightly routine. So it doesn't really have like an intense smell to it, which is nice. So I'm just gonna rub it between my fingers and I'm gonna dot, 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 and just rub it in. It's really light. Now that I'm rubbing in, it does have kind of a perfumey smell to it, but it's really not that bad. I'm gonna bring it down along my neck. Yeah, it goes on pretty smooth. It doesn't really feel like anything. It's not like heavy. And I'm gonna follow up with some moisturizer. Now, with these products and any sort of direct sales product and pretty much any product in general, before and afters are not like kosher. The reason for that is they don't want to have like unrealistic expectations. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take pictures of my face now and then kind of take you on a face journey where over like the next few weeks, so every 4 weeks, I'll check back in and just be like, this is what my face is doing now. How often am I using it? Have I changed up my products or application at all? And just see how I like it. My mom bought some, so we'll see how she likes it too. So I'm going to snap some pictures of what my skin looks like and I'll catch you on the next video.